Bukayo Saka saves England. Bukayo Saka silences his critics, and Bukayo Saka proves so many people wrong. But this ain't nothing new here. This is what Bukayo Saka has been doing his whole career. We're going to speak on it, but also there's some exciting Arsenal news. There's been a deal agreed. We're going to speak on a couple of other things as well. But before we do, just very quickly, do me a favour. Just hit like on this video. So I want to talk about Saka, but the first point I actually want to start on is Mika Biereth has been sold for £4 million. I know so many people were excited about this player coming through. So before we talk about Saka, I just want to hear your thoughts on Mika Biereth. What are your thoughts on Arsenal selling him for £4 million? Let me know. So let's talk about Bukayo Saka. Because if I'm looking at that performance, you know, it's a man's performance, isn't it? Like, Bukayo Saka's been this young, exciting kid for so long. That performance last night, I just looked at it and thought, what a man's performance. What a confident performance from this young player. It was brilliant. This is why Bukayo Saka is one of the very best players in the world. Why, in my opinion, he's the best right winger in world football. He steps up in big moments. Where were all the other guys? Where was Phil Foden? And the thing that makes me laugh so much is at half-time, everyone can see it. Bukayo Saka was far and away the best England player on the pitch by a country mile. And at half-time, they're all talking about Phil Foden's impact on the game. Like, I don't understand it. Like, is it because I'm an Arsenal fan that I'm just noticing Saka's performance more? Because I don't think it is, because I'm looking on, like, social media and everyone is saying, oh my God, Saka's skinning his left back. But Bukayo Saka's having a better... Like, every time he gets the ball, he just attacks, takes him on, crosses the ball in. Bukayo Saka could have had 4 or 5 assists in that game, but it's not his fault that Harry Kane don't want to move. He's so slow. Like, Harry Kane has really lost it, hasn't he? Like, he's never had pace, but he's always had, like, the awareness to be in the right place at the right time. And as a striker, when you lose that, like, you've basically lost everything. And it's hard to say that towards Harry Kane because he's just come off the back of an unbelievable season over in the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. But the movement I'm seeing, I would expect a top-class striker like Harry Kane is, like we've seen for so many seasons in the Premier League. But I didn't see the movement needed to get on the end of them Saka crosses. But this is about Saka, and let me know your thoughts on Saka, because I thought it was brilliant. Look, he played good for the whole game. He obviously rescued England. He scored the goal in the 80th minute. Brilliant. How many times have we seen that for Arsenal? He sort of goes to the edge of the box, cuts back in and whips it in. Sometimes it goes top corner, but sometimes he does like to do the one where it looks like it's going wide and it curls last minute. This time it was in off the post. Absolutely unsavable. Absolutely unbelievable from Bukayo Saka. So happy that went in because he did save England. There was nowhere else that goal was going to come from. You know, England have had to rely on moments from some special players. Jude Bellingham was last time and Bukayo Saka's this time. These are the only two guys that have been able to create a moment of magic because England have been terrible. I think the game last night was actually slightly better than in the past other games. I know some people don't agree with me from what I'm seeing online, but I actually thought the performance was okay. Look, it's certainly not deserving of going on and winning the Euros, so we definitely need to improve. But what Bukayo Saka done there was allowed England to take it into extra time and hopefully win the game. Again, they couldn't do that. Again, they struggled, so it goes to penalties. And at that point, you're thinking, well, we know what happened last time. We know what happened in the last Euros tournament even. It goes to penalties and England lose. England have a habit of losing penalty shootouts. It's nothing new. England have never been the best team in the world at penalty shootouts. So when the penalties come, you think the worst. 5 penalty takers. Step up. Obviously, they were all great penalties. We scored all 5. But I want to focus in on why this Saka mentality is even more impressive than you think. Like, just think back to the last Euros. Who missed the penalties? Sancho, Rashford, Bukayo Saka. Where's Rashford? Where's Sancho? They didn't even make it. You can call that a mentality thing. You can call that a quality thing. But Bukayo Saka has been the only player out of those 3 who received horrific racial abuse from so many people across England. But he didn't let that faze him. He's the only one that made the squad this time. He's the only one that could put himself in a position to be able to step up for his country again and actually execute what he couldn't last time. Bukayo Saka's mentality for his age is exceptional. It needs to be studied. Like, after that last Euros against Italy when we lost, look what happened to Sancho's form. Fell off a cliff. Where is he? Got loaned out. Couldn't even get into the Man United team, who was terrible. Marcus Rashford, one of the worst seasons ever since since that. He obviously had that one good season, but the season just gone, he was terrible. Non-existent. He was a ghost. Bukayo Saka, what's he been doing since that last Euro? Steadily building, steadily gaining numbers, season upon season, still improving, not letting what happened affect him, not letting it affect his ability or his mentality. So when it come to penalties this time, there must have been a part of him walking up to that penalty spot thinking, oh, I know what happened last time. If I miss this, I know exactly what's going to happen to me because I've already experienced it. The proof is already there. I know what's going to happen. But did Bukayo Saka let that bother him? No, he didn't. He stepped up and he executed one of the best penalties in the world, side netting. It was a bit too close for comfort for me. But in terms of a penalty, you can't save them because it was right in the side net and the keeper doesn't have enough body to be able to get over there and grab it. So it was a perfect penalty. And it just goes to show how much Bukayo Saka has grown in these past few years. What kind of player Bukayo Saka is. People need to stop doubting Bukayo Saka. It's like I don't know why they even do it. Like, look at his stats year upon year. This is a player who's growing. This is a player who is clearly improving. Year upon year, more goals, more assists. This season was no different. So when in this England tournament, has he been 100%? No, but none of the team has. He's still probably been England's best player in terms of play. Because Harry Kane's done nothing. Bellingham's had that one moment. Apart from that, he's basically been non-existent. Phil Foden, what's he done? And Bukayo Saka's actually had quite a good few games. So I don't get why people were, before this game, were calling for Bukayo Saka to be dropped. Is it because they've seen a new shiny toy with Cole Palmer? And they think we need Cole Palmer out there. He's going to change it. He's not going to change it. You need more than one player to change it. To change the whole system anyway. But Bukayo Saka had that moment and he was able to affect the game. He was able to affect the outcome. He stepped up for the penalty and he done what he needed to do. So let me know your thoughts on Bukayo Saka, because for me, that was really a performance that I looked at him and thought, this isn't a young kid anymore. This is a man who's capable of taking so many things on his shoulders and still producing outcomes. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Mika Biereth, I'm going to have a quick word on that. Like I said, let me know your thoughts on Mika Biereth, because I have been excited about this guy, if I'm being honest, because look, we've seen what he done over in Scotland. Again, maybe a weaker league, but it's still still scored some goals over there. And then he went over to the Austrian league and he actually done quite good as well. He had last season 15 goals and 9 assists. For a 21-year-old striker, those numbers aren't terrible. And Mika Biereth, a lot of us see a lot of development in, a lot of improvement. He has kind of the physicality needed. He has a bit of pace about him. He has a bit of desire about him. So for me, this one was quite confusing on Mika Biereth, because to let him go for £4 million, I know this is Sturm Graz's biggest ever purchase. This is broken their transfer record. But for me, I thought there was kind of or there could have maybe been a pathway there for Mika Biereth. I thought Mikel Arteta might have had a look at him in this summer transfer window, while the competitions are on. I thought he would have had him at the training ground, at least having a look at him. Now, maybe Mikel Arteta's already made his mind up and he said this isn't the profile of player we need. But for £4 million, I know we have a bit of a sell-on clause in there, but I kind of feel like this could be one where maybe this is one that might have got away. A lot of us were disappointed that Balogun went last season, to be fair, and we all thought that were him. Maybe this will be a similar sort of thing with Mika Biereth, where a lot of us were excited or have been excited about this player at one point, and we don't really understand the sale. But when it happens, maybe time will tell, and maybe Mikel Arteta was right. I wouldn't doubt him on anything. Mikel Arteta is far superior football mind than I could ever dream of having. But from the outside looking in, I'm looking at Biereth and I'm thinking maybe there could be a bit of a player there. So for £4 million, I think Sturm Graz have had a very good deal there. Let me know what you think. So we're going to get onto the done deal, and that is, of course, Calafiori has agreed to join Arsenal. Fabrizio Romano, again, the main man, has put it out there and said this player wants to join Arsenal. He's agreed a deal with Arsenal, and now the only thing left is the transfer fee. I think Bologna are holding out for about 50 million because his previous club has a bit of a sell-on clause as well. Do you think Calafiori is worth 50 million? We've already spoke about the player. You guys have already let me know what you think of Calafiori. If you haven't, let me know. Let me know what kind of player you think we're getting. I think it will be a very good deal. If you asked me before the window started what kind of player will Arsenal sign first, I wouldn't have said a left-back, if I'm being honest with you. We heard rumblings. We spoke about it on the channel 2-3 weeks ago. Arsenal might be interested in going for a specialised left-back. We've had this discussion so many times. We heard that weeks ago. And now it's actually coming out that Calafiori will probably be the first deal that Arsenal do. Am I surprised? Yes. Because, you know, in a lot of people's opinions, Arsenal should go for a striker or a midfielder. Arsenal are still looking in those areas. So if you're wondering if this sale will affect the purchase of those other positions, then I wouldn't worry too much, because Arsenal are still looking to get deals done in those areas. But this was definitely a surprise. Arsenal going for Calafiori straight away. I think it's a great deal. I think he will improve the team. I think he will improve the squad. Whether he comes in and starts straight away, I don't know, because like we've said, so many people are excited to see Yuri and Timber in that position. It'll be interesting to see what Mikel Arteta's thinking. Will he put Calafiori at left back and just allow Timber and Ben White to battle it out for that right back position? That's going to be an interesting duel if that's what happens, because they're both very good players. I don't think anyone can take that position off Ben White, if I'm being honest, because I think he's probably behind Kyle Walker, even though Kyle Walker's getting older now, so for how much longer, I'm not sure. Ben White would probably be the best right back in the league for me. I think it's crazy that he's not being picked for England. We know the situation there. But I think it's going to be interesting with Calafiori coming in, because we've got so many options. I think we're going to need to offload some options as well. So who goes, it will be interesting to see. Will it be Zinchenko? Tomiyasu, I don't see any chance in. Kivior, the links. I'll tell you what, actually, we're going to speak about it, because Kivior is being linked for Juventus and Arsenal. If the rumours are to be believed, Arsenal are actually going to lose £8 million on the Kivior deal. We brought him in and we're actually going to improve the player and let him go for an £8 million loss. What was your thought when you heard this? Because everyone spoke about it. Charles Watts was speaking about it. He said he don't believe that will happen. I don't believe that will happen. But where are these rumours coming from? There's never usually smoke without fire. And if Arsenal even think about selling Kivior for an £8 million loss after he was so crucial in so many games last season, I think that would be absolutely I wouldn't understand that whatsoever. I hope it doesn't happen. Let me know your thoughts on it. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. And if you could, before you go, just do me the favour, hit like on this video. Just like it and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.